Good evening, everybody. This is President Johnson from the Stapledon Gardens, and this is our first rendition of I don't have a name for it yet, but I guess President's Corner. So what we have here is presidents from Mount Moriah just having a conversation amongst ourselves about the happenings that's occurring in our community. You know, some of the origin stories of how the associations came to be. But I'll let each president introduce themselves. So here on my left we have,
I'm Miss Tamara Clark.
and on my right we have,
I'm Miss Lavolia Johnson.
and you are the president of,
I'm the president for the Millennium Gardens Homeowners Association.
and of course, Ms. Johnson, you're
I'm the president of the Yellow Elder Community Association.
awesome stuff, awesome stuff. I said them before, Stapledon Gardens, I'm the president of the One Stapledon Association. All right, so just want to have a conversation. You're nothing, be so stoic or whatnot. That's an organic, easy conversation. Um, so our associations in Mount Moriah are pretty famous based on my understanding and things I've heard and seen. You know, from Yellow Elder, Millennium to Stapledon Gardens, we've been doing a lot of work. And so we are, and this is not a boast, but we are national leaders when it comes to community building. Mount Moriah has been leading the way when it comes to community building. And so many persons may have some questions as to, well, how did you go? How did you guys got started? How did these magnificent associations come to be? And so this is a platform that we can, shed some light as to, hey, how did our community associations come to be? And so, Mr. Mara Clark, I guess we can start with you. How did your awesome community association come to be?
Well, back then, I know the association started with Miss Pat Ward. She started years ago, and then for some reason it was dismantled. And then in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, that's when Mr. Jason Fitzgerald took over and restarted the association again. When the association started, I joined like 2 years after, and then I was one of the captains.
Right.
You have Millennium actually separated in 4 zones.
Okay.
So each zone has a captain. Back then, they had a captain and a deputy. So the captain and the deputy used to be in charge of their zones, and where when we have meetings, we bring everything together so we could collaborate and get a better understanding of the whole community. And then the following 2 years, I became the vice president. And after Mr. Fitzgerald stepped down, then I became president, and that was in 2021. So from 2021 to present, I'm the president. I stood as president and still am.
Okay.
And what we try to do in the community is actually meet and exceed the need of, basically all our homeowners.
Right.
And in the way we do that is by, we put on little events throughout the year. We try to have at least about 4 because we are non-profit.
Right.
So every time we have an event, we have to then, raise funds and,
Right.
get donations and stuff like that.
So everything you get comes from your area, from the residents of
the residents of Millennium Gardens. Every awesome. Event we have, the residents of Millennium Garden, they donate, and then they pay dues.
Okay, awesome.
Dues is only $5 a month, but we try to keep it small. But $5 a month, $60 a year. So we try to collect dues, which helps us with getting a few things, because sometimes you ask for donations on the outside, and they'll tell you but when time for the event,
it could be very
the year don't show up, So my residents in the community, I know I could depend on them.
Awesome stuff.
You know, so when we put that out there, we actually have a group chat as well.
Right.
Just the way we have Millennium separated in 4 zones, we have 4 chat zone groups, and the captains are in charge of those groups.
Okay.
And then we have one big chat group, where persons can just go and say morning, put their little flyer, do whatever, you know, everything goes for that. And just to also mention that, I think it was about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2023. We got the association registered.
Awesome.
So
that's pretty
our
awesome.
association is now a registered
Legal
association.
entity.
Yes, within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Awesome.
And I know it started. We don't really do politics.
Right.
But just to mention, because you know, sometimes you have some MPs that help out and some that don't.
Right.
So the reason we say our association is non-political, is because as an association, we don't see a color.
So you know what? I would want to challenge you or stop you there, right? My my concept and belief is we actually do politics. We don't do partisanship, right? When I say politics, by virtue of existing and building infrastructure within your area, by actually being able to rally your entire community behind a cause that's going to benefit that area.
Right.
That is the definition of politics, right? So you have a group of like-minded persons working behind an idea to better the greater good of the area, the community. It's politics, right? But you don't do partisanship, right? Where there is no political party that you have any affiliation or contact with. But the very things that we do when we influence the area from economic, cultural, social, politics. But
I got you. I got you. All right. So, you know, because the reason I said that is because we have a lot of persons who, when we say non-political, they didn't understand what we was meaning by that term. You know, but now that you actually break it down, you know, when you look at it, it is kind of political. But you know, we just try to keep politics out of the association, because we as an association, we try to be our brothers' keepers. You can't do that with certain things getting in the way.
Absolutely.
So, for example, Jean lives here, Donna lives next door. Sue lives next to Donna. But because this one wears a yellow shirt and the next one wears a red, I see someone coming in your yard. Oh, I don't fool with them. This yellow shirts, or you know, I'm not trying not to call no names.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
That can't work for a community association. Absolutely because enable us to be our brothers keepers, we have to make sure we look out for one another. We can't look out for one another by something like that. You know, I see someone stealing your gas tank, I won't be able to call you or run outside and say something, you know. Not, you know, and it's not like we live in a fairy tale world where we all can just be singing songs, getting along and singing kumbaya. No, you know, I'm being realistic. We're not always gonna see eye to eye, sometimes 100%. But at least if we meet each other halfway, 50 to 80%, we should still be okay as neighbors.
Awesome.
So we try to hold a few events, like I mentioned earlier, about 4 events every year. So we try to hold events so that, you know, it could help with camaraderie. And, you know, try to bring people together.
Absolutely.
And then you may have someone live across from you that you don't even know. You know, and even though I'm the president, there's persons within the community that, you know, I'm still putting names to faces. But I know once I see you, I know, hey, how you doing? You know, I can still hail. And then I don't want to see my neighbor on the road break down and I pass them straight because I don't know who they are. You know, so we try to put on some events throughout the years. And then, like I say, on the outside of the community, we get some help. And I know we have certain persons that we could always count on. And even though I want to mention the name, because sometimes you have people who do a lot, and you tend to overlook citizen? Them. Well, they are a politician.
Okay.
But like I say, we non-political, so we try not to get on that side of the fence.
But that individual is always at the ready and to help.
Always willing to help. Sometimes we don't even ask.
Okay.
We just send a flyer around, and as long as they see that flyer,
they will respond. Okay.
They respond.
That's a good
he's not a current sitting member of parliament now.
Okay.
But we still have events, and he still send a donation. Okay. And I make sure that my committee team, anybody who sends donation, that information goes in the committee team to make sure everybody knows who our persons are on the outside of the community that donates.
Support.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome. Okay, well said. That's a lot. Seems like Millennium is locked in. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
So tell us something about, Yaka. How you guys started?
Well, Yaka, the word Yaka, interpreted Yellow Elder Community Association.
Right.
And we got started back in 2010 under the leadership of one Trevor Brown. At that time, Trevor Brown was a resident of the Yellow Elder community.
Right.
And he see the fit to start an association in the community.
Right.
So we were having a lot of at-risk young people, and we were having persons who just needed to be a part of something.
Right.
So we all get together one day and we say we're gonna, have a community association. So we start to reach out to persons like myself and others. Trevor had that role on community association for some years. After that, he was taken over by Antonio Lavardi, who's now a sergeant at the police force.
He was superintendent.
He's superintendent.
That's my boy, man.
Excuse me.
Mind.
Oh, how I get the sergeant now. He's a superintendent. Well, when he first started, guess what? When he first started out at the time, he was a sergeant.
Right.
Present, he's now a superintendent.
Big dog, big
correct,
dog,
right?
big dog.
Okay.
That's my boy.
Long after he would have moved off the scene, and there comes I, sitting president now.
Right.
Since then, we have grown tremendously.
Awesome.
We have touched Yellow Elder completely. We did our walkabout. We walked from the beginning of Yellow Elder to the ending part. We have a routine where we do. You guys, I see, set up a meet and greet.
Yeah.
We have a routine where we do like a neighbor touching each person every other month. We'll take a different street and a different corner, and we'll touch the resident in the community just to let them know that we're here. Okay? Every other month, every year that is, we have 4 events that we put on graciously. Our first event always start off with our Valentine event.
Okay, in February.
In February, during Valentine. Ever since I joined the association, I haven't had a Valentine since. Because every Valentine,
you gotta be planning for somebody else.
Yes, I spend my Valentine at our home in Yellow Elder, which is the Good Samaritan home.
Yeah.
We go there and we feed the elderly. We started the year off, which is good.
Right.
Shortly after that, we're gonna have our Mother's Day event. We're preparing for that. As we speak, we're now preparing for that. Where we go there and we touch like about, sometimes we have almost 500 residents.
Wow.
And what we do is we honor so much of them every year. We honor a lot of them. So we are preparing now to have our Mother's Day. That is our biggest event for the year.
Right.
And then following that is the Father's Day. And then after
that. So the Father's Day ain't the second or biggest, or?
Father's Day is
Right,
it's getting there,
Right, that's how it is.
So, we have our Father's Day. And what happened under my role as president, we brought a new initiative, which was our Feed the Kid. Feed the Kid program is a program where every beginning of school year, We feed the children breakfast in the morning time. We set up like 3 different Zoom, and we set up a counter where we could have breakfast, where we feed them as they go to school. And like Tamara said, we couldn't have done all of this without sponsors, persons. You know, we don't look to politics, but like she said, we do still have persons who would support us, you know, up until this day. You know, we have a former member of parliament, if I must say also, he continues to support as we ask. Okay. And we have other entity like, can I call them? Okay, we have entity like. This is a very informal speaking. We have persons who always been there to support us, like Caribbean. If you're comfortable saying it, then that's fine with me. Yeah, Caribbean Bottling, which is Coca-Cola, and we have Bahamas Base, we have Super Value, and other persons, you know, as we knock on their door, they will see the need to support us. In our association, we always look to persons to be a part, because we always have persons who always, you know, need, whether it be physically or financially or even spiritually, because we do have a lot of Christian persons who is a part of, our community. So we would reach out to persons, you know. Ignore it, like pressure. This is live, guys. So, okay, so like I was saying, being a part of a community association has bring out the best in persons like myself. Okay, prior to being a part of our association, I wouldn't say my life was bored, but I just, you know, wasn't fulfilling as I is, because I now doing something that I love. I now know my community pretty well. I could walk from our first street, which is Lightbourne Street, and just about everybody knows me. I could walk to Nichols Court, which is the last street in Yellow Elder, and everybody calls my name. Persons know me very well based on, we have a grouping of over 200 persons. And in this grouping, we have persons from affiliated with all different parties. That's why we continue to say we are non-political, because we will have persons who are part of this association, and they will continue to, you know, support. You know, and they don't think about colors. They don't think about I affiliated with this party or I affiliated with that party. They just know that they live within this community, and regardless of who is in power and who's not, they will continue. They want to support the community association, and when whatever is finished and done with, we don't move out this community. We stays here, and we'll ever be a part of it. So we continue by saying, you know, let's just, you know, let's keep it together, and let's always remember that we are who make up the community. No politician, because most of them don't live, not most of them, none of them live in the community, right? We live right here. That's right. That's right. And we love it. Yeah, they say things. I do. I mean, when we look at Millennium and when we look at Stapledon, we look at Yellow Ellis sometimes as I wouldn't use the word ghetto. I use the word not so prosperous, right? Urban, more or less urban. Okay, but nevertheless, we are loving, kind, and we are together, and we are one family. Chief Superintendent Skippings come from Yellow Elder. Exactly. You know, we have Lavardi come from Yellow Elder. Superintendent Lavardi, so you have a lot of awesome folks who come from Yellow Elder. All right, well that is amazing and awesome. I guess I'm next on. Yeah. Well, for Stapleton, and this question is always interesting because it always comes from perspective. You know, I am one of the founders of how our movement started. Right, the youngest person. You know, and at the time I was just like a tag along. You know what I mean? And so, but we had a lot of older fellows who were, you know, leading, and our movement started in 2012. And so I'll give you my perspective. Our movement started in 2012, right? Just a bunch of men, or 7 to 9 fellas, just hanging out, chilling,
Um, we did that for a few weeks, and then after a while, we brought the women in. Whenever you bring the women in, that comes with more structure, more tidiness, more organization. And it's only right since it's International Women's Day that we give, credence and that and show that support to the women. Because only until we added the women to that equation that we started to blossom and go from strength to strength. Um, but as in terms of transforming into an association, it was Mr. Mark Forbes who always had that idea of turning our movement into an actual association. And it was him who brought to the fore, individuals who would have started, like committee, a steering committee. We've had a few um, under those parts. We were walking towards becoming a registered association. We weren't successful during that era, but it was a fight. It was a fight, and becoming, as you guys know, a registered association is not easy. It is not easy. But I took over in 2017, right? And from 2017, we became a registered legal organization in September 11, 2020. And so from that point to now, we have been a legal registered community association, and of course we couldn't have gotten here without the past efforts from persons in the past. And it's just like anything, you build on what you have, you build on the foundation, you build on the efforts, and here we are now. So we have a lot of events in Stapledon, as you guys know. And like I said, like everything we do is not partisan, but we very much try, just based on the nature of our association. Um, it's political from the definition of it, changing the environment, the infrastructure, the economics, you know what I mean? So those things, we lean into so we can touch every aspect of our community and enhance it in a meaningful way. You know, so we have, well, I'm biased. I'm biased, guys. I'm biased, but I think Stapleton is the premier community organization. But of course, my president would definitely not agree with me, and that's fine. That's fine. You understand? But of course, as a unit in Mount Moriah, we have been leading the way nationally, and I challenge anybody, any, I, I stutter and I stutter. I challenge anybody to find a trio that has impacted their community from a infrastructure standpoint, from a social, economic, cultural standpoint. Mount Moriah stands tall. We are self-sufficient. We believe in the concept of self-determination. We love our partners. We have a lot of um, private and public partners in government. Um, our funding comes from within the community. We rely only on the coffers of Stapledon Gardens, and that's why we walk with a swag. However, I must say, I must give credit to Michael Davo. He always assists us um, when the need comes. Um, he is, he has a small piece. When these areas get Jerry's man, cut here, slice there, slice there. So he has a little piece on Wellington Street, and as small as that is, he wants us to know, hey,
That's me.
I am here, and you'll need something. I definitely respect that. You know what I mean? So he makes it his business to let his constituents on that small piece, but still Stapledon Gardens, hey, I support your community association, and I respect that a lot, and so Stapledon Gardens, the socioeconomics in Stapledon is different. Um, we are, that's a true suburban area, proud of that. Um, and so we have a lot of resources we can lean into, and we are very grateful for that. We don't miss um, represent that. We are humble by that, and it's only as a collective that we actually are able to accomplish all the things that we have been able to do thus far. And so we have a community social tonight. And so after this interview, we are looking forward to having a very robust um, community social. It's our first one for the year. Um, and so this is our first President's Talk, President's Corner. I don't know what we're going to call it. You see, it's live. Presidents are walking about. But we just wanted to touch bases with the presidents in the area, and just get a little brief feedback and understanding on how things are going in your area. Um, this won't be the last one, and we intend to engage our partners, our sisters and brothers in Millennium and Yellow Welder. All right. And so with that, I am going to wrap up.
Before you
Sure.
wrapped up, I also too want to mention that we were very blessed also to register our association,
Yes.
which took place under my leadership as president.
Yes,
They say it only take a woman sometime to get things
Right.
done, right?
Well,
So that was
well,
accomplished
glad you told me
underneath
this.
my leadership. And
Women's
before,
International Day, so it's shining bright. It's
and
shining
before,
bright.
before we end this plan, it wouldn't do my heart well unless I recognize my association members. My
Yes,
hard
yes.
working committee members them.
Yeah.
I could not have done this without
I
them over the
Yes.
years.
Yes.
I
Those
have
14 years.
I have to second that.
I am telling
Yes.
you, we
Yes.
need them.
Our
They
our
always
team.
the wind beneath
Yeah.
our wind.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they come out in full force and they're always willing. Sometimes like I get very tired and
Yeah.
very discouraged, and they have a way of encouraging me.
Absolutely.
So I must say, take this little time out to
Yeah.
say thank you
Yes.
very much,
Yes.
and let's
I can say
continue
the same.
and let's
Yeah.
push.
Yes, I can say the same because even though sometimes we have events, like I mentioned, we try to have about 4 a year.
Mm.
Our first event is coming up in April, which is our Easter event. We do it every year religiously because of the kids,
Right.
But
We do
we have some adults who are kids at heart too, so
Yep.
we be out there, playing our musical chairs and stuff. But we try to make every event fun, so where we can do something for everyone and even for the family. Persons we having a grill and chill this year June. So the whole family could come out and just sit down, relax, and enjoy, and get to meet their neighbors and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So yes, and without the committee members,
Yeah, we wouldn't be
it don't work.
nothing.
It don't work without them.
Wouldn't be nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have the second and third that.
So we
Have the
need,
second and third that.
yes, we need our committee
Yeah.
members, and thanks to them, Millennium Gardens Homeowners Association committee members, I thank you. I can't thank y'all guys enough. Y'all know I always encouraging y'all. Y'all encourage me, so we can all,
Yes.
keep our head above water.
Absolutely.
And
Okay.
I always and do want to take this time to thank you, Mr. President and Madam President. Why? Of coordinating together. We partner together in many things, and I want us to continue moving forward to partner.
Yes.
Because it makes things, we are maybe separated in 3 different communities.
Yeah.
But sometimes we bring it all together and call it Mount Moriah.
That's right.
Which is good. So
Right.
thank
Which
you
is
very
powerful.
much. Powerful.
Powerful. Because you have a lot of communities out there that
struggle with it.
Yeah, they struggle with that. But ever since I became president, a few years ago, 4 years ago, and after getting the association registered as well, then I realized that I can tell my community and my committee members that we need to show brotherly love.
Right.
And then when my other sister and brother communities are having events or doing other stuff, we don't show our face, we don't show the support, So it starts with us.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, I'll just say, we all we got, but more importantly, we all we need. All right. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for the interview, and I will end with that. Until next time.